Okay, here we go. I just recorded this whole workout without hitting the record button. So let's try this again. So we start off with bulletproof shoulders, right? And as always, we want to explain why we're doing it so people will buy in and understand it. And this stuff's super crucial. Shoulders are super prone to injury. They're also very commonly the limiting factor in a lot of things that may not even seem related. Think front squats. If I don't have great shoulder mobility, stability, my front squats are going to suffer. My overhead squats are going to suffer. My pull-ups are going to suffer. So much of what we do can suffer performance-wise if we don't have it. Not to mention shoulder pain and injury is a very common human condition at this point. Way too common. So this is some of the stuff that we can do to start fixing it. You got the box pressors, right? You can see the video, but the big key is that we're pressing through here and always driving up as hard as we can. Banded shoulder taps, right? You're always pressing out as you do it, so it kind of works that position. You're pulling the shoulders back before we do it. We don't want to get in this position to do it. We want to pull back and do it so we can work retraction as well as that movement. The banded press uses that same booty band, but it's going to force us to drive out like we did on the squats earlier in the week. And then we finish off with shoulder walks on sliders. The sliders go on the feet, right? And it's all about that maintaining that good position. So it's a bit like using that shoulder stability of a plank, but now we're moving, which is super crucial because this shoulder isn't really a static joint. It's much more dynamic than any other joint, like most degrees of freedom and all that. So that gives us ways to train it. We're going to use that as a warm-up also, which is great about all these things, to set up hot off the presses, which is week 1 of 4. All right, so we're going to do this four weeks in a row, ideally adding weight. In order to do that, we have to pick the right weight to start with. It says 65 to 70% of your press. That's an okay number for some people. Make sure, though, it falls into that RPE of 2, meaning I have 3 more left in the tank. You have a lot of reps to do, right? It's 18 press and 36 push press. Same weight for both. So if I'm going to do 100 pounds, I'm doing 100 for the press, 100 for the push press because it alternates minutes. We're going to add weight each time. It's much better to err on the side of going light here. That's our idea. If we don't and we fail or we kind of come close to failing, we're going to struggle to add weight to it. And we want to be able to add weight and we want it to look pretty. So keep that RPE of 2 where you have 3 left in the tank and you should be fine. And really focus on using the legs on that push press. A lot of people they kind of use their legs on a push press, but they don't really care. The other purpose of this is to start to learn to use the legs. You'll need to. We finish off with a high-speed, low-drag type workout. There is a CrossFit variation to this. Check it. It's heavier, and it's conventional deadlifts instead of sumo. But for now, sumo deadlift should be a lightweight, 25 plus, and then burpees, 5 rounds. It's a full send workout. Again, you're not going to go 5 because that's 20, 30 seconds max. You're going to be at a 2 because it takes some time for your body to catch up, which means I can speak in short sentences for the first round. Rounds 2, 3, 4, you're looking at 3 where you can only get a couple of words out, and then round 4 is kind of that sprint to the finish where it gets very hard. It shouldn't take, if we've paced the first 4 rounds, right, it should be under a minute to finish that last round. Big thing we want to focus on, though, is back position. When we do medium or moderately light deadlifts, not super light, the tendency is to let the back go. So they either pick it up, put it down properly, or they can pick it up and drop it. If it's something that they think they're going to drop every time, it's probably too heavy. So keep that in mind. Like 25 reps plus 10 should be pretty easy. You're looking at less than 50% of that. Not that you can't do sets of 5 and drop it in the middle and shake it out, but you're either controlling that weight down, keeping a good spinal position, or you're dropping it. Don't do that drop thing where you end up in a rounded back position and then you have to complain about how sore they are the next day. Other than that, it's a pretty simple go. Regular burpees, no bar hop, clap overhead, all that fun stuff. It's just about conditioning with relatively light weights.